Everyone has heard the term nature versus nurture, and if I'm being honest, it frustrates me. Yes, your genetics do play a role. It's the reason I have no hair, it's the reason I have the color of eyes that I have. It might be why you're, I don't know, slightly faster than someone else. But overall, I want you to throw it out the window because 95, 98% of what we know, everything about us, is learned in our environment. If you found yourself on my course, it's because you're struggling with something. And if you're struggling with something, there's a reason that you're struggling with it. And the reason you're struggling with it is because you've learned something in your past. And if you've learned something in your past, it means that someone probably has mistaught you something, has hurt you, has taken out their anger on you, has inflicted pain on you, suffering for whatever reason, and it's left you with self-doubt, with anger, self-hatred, self-loathing, a lack of confidence. You hide in your bedroom or you get angry in social situations and you might fight someone, whatever it is. But there's a reason that you behave that way, and it's because you've learned something in your environment. It's nurtured. And it doesn't matter where you come from, who you are, what color you are, if you're gay, if you're straight, whatever you're into, whatever your passions are. The thing that we all have in common is that we all have an environment that we grew up in. We all have a childhood. And that means there are patterns that overlap across all of our experiences that can teach us why we are the way we are. It's why some people speak a different language. It's why some people are into sport. It's why some people are into Lego, why some people want to travel, why you're good at maths, whatever it is. It can be anything, but they're all learned in our environment. Yes, there are exceptions. Yes, there are some genetic factors in play, but overall, everything is learned. So I want you to take a second and think about some of the things you're into, some of your hobbies. For me, for example, I like football, rugby, I like Lego, I like weightlifting. I used to watch a lot of film and TV, although I've tried to move away from that. And I dislike cooking. I dislike gardening. Can't think of something else right now. I'm sure there's something else. But the reason I have those preferences is because I've learned them. I like football because my dad and I would play football. My dad and I would play rugby. I like Lego because it's fun, easy to build, it's engaging. We had it as kids. I like TV and computer games because ultimately that was my safe space. I would sit in my room and watch TV. I would play computer games to hide from my family. I dislike cooking because it means I'd have to bump into my mother, and my mother would blame me, shame me, hate me for existing. I don't like gardening because she was into that. And if I went into the garden when she was gardening, it meant having to run into her. These are the reasons why I like these things and why I dislike these things. They're all from my past and they're what I've learned. They're nurtured. So I want you to take a second and think what it is that you like, what you're into, what you dislike, and where you think those things might have come from. And here's a clue. They come from your childhood, or they might come from your adulthood or your teens, like you might have learned them as you got older. But as a rule of thumb, most of these things are ingrained in us from when we're very young.